Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to JSAW's Bible Study this week. We are going through the book of Philippians, and today we are in Philippians chapter 2, verse 19 through 30. Now, Paul wrote the book of Philippians as a letter to the church at Philippi, and he's actually writing while in jail in Rome for preaching the gospel. And when you're in jail, you can't get a job, you can't earn money, and so Paul needed help. He needed support. And he had this guy named Timothy with him. He's a young man who's basically his protege, and Paul was teaching him to be a follower of Christ, a pastor and a missionary. Now, the church of Philippi had sent Paul a gift of money to help take care of his needs while he was in prison. There was no Venmo or Cash App back in the day, and so they actually sent physical money with a man named Epaphroditus. And on the way to deliver this gift, Epaphroditus gets sick and he actually almost dies. It's like, man, I don't know if you've ever tried to do something good for somebody else and everything just goes wrong and it just doesn't work out. That's what's going on with Epaphroditus. Like, he's trying to do a good thing for Paul and for the church and for the gospel, and he almost dies in the process of doing it, right? I want you to remember something. God doesn't promise that our life as a Christian is going to be easy. We've got Paul in prison, and we've got Epaphroditus. He almost dies. Guys, life is just hard sometimes. Now, as you read through Philippians chapter 2, verse 19 through 30, Paul is going to send Timothy and Epaphroditus to the church of Philippi to encourage them and to help them in their walk with Jesus. But I want you to listen to how Paul describes these two guys. This is what we should be aiming for as Christians, as followers of Christ. So he says about Timothy that Timothy is genuinely concerned for the believers at the church of Philippi. And he is looking out for the interests of others. He's looking out for the interests of Christ and not himself. As a young man, I was a lot more concerned about the tricks I could land and looking good while doing it. I cared about my plans and my dreams, and it was all about me, right? Timothy is not that way. He cares about these other people in this other country at this church. He wants them to be growing in their faith. And he cares about Paul, who is locked up in prison, right? That's what Timothy is passionate about. He's passionate about people knowing Jesus and growing in their faith. And he's deeply concerned about the welfare of other people. And not only that, but he was proven in his care for other people. His life demonstrated it consistently. Now, Paul said that Epaphroditus was his co-worker, a fellow soldier and a messenger who was sent to care for the needs of Paul, a prisoner in a foreign country. Oh, got some waves coming through here. Epaphroditus almost died. He risked his own life to minister and care for Paul so the gospel, the good news of Jesus, could advance. And so Paul said, hey, we need to honor this guy. Let me ask you a question. Are you that passionate about Jesus? Are you so dedicated to Christ that you would risk your life, put your life on hold, or even give up your entire life, all of your time, focus, energy, resources, so that others could hear the good news about Jesus? It's easy to say yes and just go on living your life. But Timothy was actually proven in that. Epaphroditus actually went out and did it. Now, I'm impressed and I'm inspired by how much these guys cared for each other, how much they loved each other, how they looked after each other and their interests rather than their own. They humbly served so that more people could hear about the love of Jesus. And I want to challenge you guys to live your life in the same way, to live like Paul, to live like Timothy, and to live like Epaphroditus, and to be passionate about the gospel. I hope that this encourages you, inspires you, and that you will live following after their example. I'll see you guys next week.